everyone, this is MykeCheck'd95 here with another MykeCheck'd Productions review, and once again I'm not going to the Friday the 13th series again because there are actually two more reviews that I have to get done. One that I promised after the Terminator Dark Fate review, and then there was one more that I found in the notes in my phone that I was supposed to review at the end of last year, but I just ended up putting it off. But once I get these two reviews uploaded, this one including the next one, I'll be back to Friday the 13th with Friday the 13th Part 3. You can't please everyone, and as my opinion stands for Dark Fate, I enjoyed it. But for this film, it's the exact opposite. The movie I'm going to review is Brahms the Boy 2. This movie was a major letdown in my eyes because I actually enjoyed the first film. Granted, there are some plot holes here and there that didn't really make any sense, but all in all, I enjoyed the little twist at the end of the film, changing the whole landscape of the entire movie completely, from paranormal to someone hiding in the walls, turning into a slasher film. And then, imagine taking that landscape, putting a bunch of minefields in it, and just letting them all rip, just destroying everything in its path. And that's what you get when you watch Brahms the Boy 2. Before I continue on, there's going to be spoilers in this review, so if you don't want to watch it, then you might as well just click off of it and go watch a different film, since this film is more recent. But spoilers ahead, spoiler territory, here we go. First off, they retconned the entire first movie, taking everything great about the first film that I thought to myself was great and removing it completely, or just nullifying it, like it either didn't even happen or they just ended it because they thought this movie would be a better idea than what they did in the last film. It's another paranormal ghost doll movie. Yeah, like that hasn't been done 1,000 times over the last 10 to 15 years. How original. I mean, I get that's what they were trying to go for, I guess, in the first one, only to surprise the viewer about what happened, but it seems like they listened to the people who wanted it to be a paranormal movie, and they tried that out, and now most of those people didn't like it because they liked the ending to the first one. It didn't make any sense, in my opinion, really. It just kind of took the plot and just stretched it out longer and longer, and it wasn't really an enjoyable experience when I watched it in the theater. And there were actually 3 different times where I was actually hoping that we're building up to something good, and I was actually kind of on the edge of my seat hoping that we'd be revealed to see Brahms again. But it puttered out and extinguished itself just like that. 3 different times in the film. And Brahms in the last film, he's dead. He died in between movies, like he died of his injuries apparently, and some random caretaker of the field found the doll and put it back together, and not Brahms, so they left that too ambiguous in the ending to kind of screw it over. The effects, oh god, the effects of the inside of the doll's head looked awful. It honestly looked like green vomit mixed up with black tar and just stirred around with a metal spoon in a bowl and molded into like a sphere. That's what it looked like to me. And the storyline, I mean, yeah, it didn't really make sense at some points, and it also kind of sucked, like really bad. To be honest, my reaction right now is quite tame compared to when I saw it for the very first time in theaters, which I was very angry when I finished this film, and I hated the entire movie, and I just felt like they wasted their time with this film trying to cash in on the paranormal doll trend, and it didn't work because there's only a couple films like that can work, and there's not that many that can do that. The acting was okay, I mean, wasn't terrible, but it delivered. I'm gonna have to research who the actors were, because that's like one of the worst things I'm bad at, is remembering actors' names, so here we go. We had Katie Holmes as the mother, Owain Yeoman as the father, Christopher Convey as the son, and Ralph Ineson from, I'm sorry I butchered that, Ralph Ineson or something like that. He starred in the film The Witch as the father of the family, in which he did very well in that film. This film, he's the caretaker that put the doll back together and got mentally possessed by the doll, and, well, sort of mentally possessed, more like hearing voices in his head and trying to obey its rules or whatever. But he was probably the best actor in the entire group, even if the acting was subpar and everything. All in all, I did not like this movie at all. I went into it with like moderate expectations because I had a good experience with the first film, and I came out of this film with very low expectations if there ever is going to be a sequel, which there probably is going to be one, because cash grab movies, if it makes the money, they're going to make another film, you know, like always. But my rating is going to be a 3 out of 10 of this film. Not even that, a 2 out of 10. It was this bad. Like, this was probably one of the top 5 films I was very disappointed in when I watched it. Fun fact though, a friend of mine and I watched this film the day after premiere night in my hometown, and when we walked into the theater, it was just us two, 3 other people that were like 3 rows behind us, and 2 in the way in the back, and that was the entire like audience of the entire movie. So I kinda had a hunch that this film was gonna be bad. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Brahms the Boy 2. Even me thinking about it kinda makes me sad and mad at the same time. But anyways, if you enjoyed this film, if you enjoyed this review in some way, shape, or form, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, let your friends know about my journey as a movie reviewer here, and there will be more reviews to come for the next few days. And this is MykeCheck'd 95 of MykeCheck'd Productions, signing out.